Aloha guys, hope everyone is doing well. So this is kind of an impromptu video. I wasn't even going to do anything. I was just kind of relaxing on my couch and looking at my iPhone, and I was looking on Facebook for a second, and I saw a post on, I believe it was Pilot Institute's Facebook page, and someone posted that supposedly someone was able to purchase a Mavic Air 2S at a Best Buy comparable to what they did with the Mini 2 with all that kind of hype that was going on. As we remember, some guy actually was able to find a drone and they were able to purchase it and take it home. But these are the images that were supposedly posted. This guy right here. So we see the orange on the props. We see the little back rear sensor. We see this little sloping nose with these sensors. We see this image as well. And then we see the front of it with the tag that says Mavic Air 2S and the little changes with these sensors. But again, kind of cool, but at the same time, the most important thing was the spec sheet. So let's go through the spec sheet that I saw and investigate. So as of now, we kind of heard 1-inch sensor, 20 megapixels, possibly 10-bit. That was a thing that I wasn't sure about, and I was kind of questioning whether or not that was going to happen. OcuSync 3.0 and blah, 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 a lot of other stuff that other people were talking about. But let's look at the specs that are supposedly on this guy. Oop, not that guy. That is a shot actually taken with the regular Mavic Air 2, which was phenomenal. But let me see where this image is that I want to get to. And it's right over here. So this is the spec sheet. Let me do the gray. It's easier on my eyes. So right now, I could kind of see I got my glasses on. They're like magnifying glasses or whatever. So we have total weight, or takeoff weight, I'm sorry, which is 500, I believe, 90. I want to say 595 grams. And if we go onto the website, I'm just going to show you, because this was kind of the way I was looking at it. We can kind of see what it's talking about. So if I kind of get lost a little bit, maybe I can kind of make out what this is and kind of compare the two. But we're going to go back over to the spec sheet in Photoshop, and we see the takeoff weight, roughly 595 grams somewhere. Maybe it says 585. I can't really totally see. I think it says 595. But under 600 grams, we see the max flight time, 31 minutes with 0 wind. So guess what, guys? That is actually less than what the Mavic Air 2 is. The Mavic Air 2 with no wind is 34 minutes. So that's kind of interesting. Less battery, more money. So we're going to go back over here to the spec sheet. So we have 31 minute no wind while flying at consistent 12 miles an hour. So I don't know, maybe whatever. It probably is comparable. Not a big deal. Operating temperature range 0 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Really hard to read this. It's kind of like being at the eye doctor reading that last line. That's pretty much what this is about right now for me. So operating frequency, it says 2.4 to 2.4 something gigahertz, 5.725 to 5.8 or something, 00 gigahertz. Transmitter power, blah, 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 2.4, 5.8. The sensor, 1-inch CMOS, effective pixels, 20 megapixels. So I can read that one clearly. So if this is true, again, sensor is 1-inch CMOS sensor, effective pixels, 20 megapixels. So I don't see anything like 48 or 64 or something larger. So I don't know if this is going to do something comparable to what the Mavic Air 2 does by doing that interpolation kind of thing and giving you a 48 megapixel file. But mind you, the 48, I'm going to show you later, but the 48 megapixel file out of the Mavic Air 2 as a still photographer, to me, is amazing. So there's that. Totally a good drone already. The lens, it says FOV, I want to say 35 millimeter equivalent, 22 millimeter aperture, 2.8, I believe, fixed f2.8, focal or focus range, whatever. It says like 0.06 meter to infinity or something like that. But this is where it kind of gets cool. ISO range. So for video, we see 100. It's hard to see. I'm reading this to you, so trust me that I'm reading it to you as accurately as I can. If I don't know what it is, I will let you guys know. But it says video 100 to 3200 ISO with auto and 100 to 6400 ISO when you're shooting manual. You should always be shooting manual anyway, in my opinion. So there's that. be in control of your ISO. You probably never really want to go to 6400 ISO, even with a 1-inch sensor. I doubt it can handle that great as far as it's not a Nikon D5 or something. But again, ISO range over here, it says video. Now look at this. This is not 100. That's not a number, I should say. Photo right here, it says 100 to 3200 ISO auto. This is actually 10-bit. So it says video 10-bit, 100 to 800 auto, 100 to 1600 manual. So I don't know. I guess this thing will have 10-bit if this is actually true. So that's a huge thing. If I was able to pull one cool thing out of this video, as a viewer, this would be it. Kind of getting a little confirmation that there actually will be 10-bit. I don't know how it will handle if it's 10-bit log. Let me know if you guys have an idea if it's going to be just 10-bit log like it would be with the Mavic 2 Pro. But that's actually really cool that that is actually included in this drone. Again, this drone is a bigger price point, so there's that, and I'm going to touch on this in a second. Actually, I'm going to touch on that now. So right now we got 10-bit, right? Okay, I'm going to show you guys just to kind of think a little bit about this purchase. So we're going to go to my calculator. We all kind of have heard that the Fly More combo is going to be $12.99. And most people buy the Fly More combo because it comes with 2 extra batteries and everything you kind of need to get going. And most likely, if you kind of have a brain, you're going to be buying the Refresh 2 because it gives you peace of mind. So say this is $129, something like that. Say it's $79 to $130, like I'm guesstimating right now. We're basically at $1,400, give or take, with taxes. Most likely shipping will be free if you order it from somewhere like DJI or anywhere else. So right now we're in the $1,400 range without taxes. So we're basically $1,400 to $1,500 for the Fly More combo with Refresh and taxes. Probably more around $1,500, and that's a pretty expensive drone. Now let me go over here. I'm going to take you to a little different site. Now we're going to go over here and look at this. $1,525 with this Autel sale. I think it actually ends today, which is kind of crazy. I wish I did this video or I knew about this yesterday. But $1,525, and look what you're getting with an Autel Evo 2 Pro. 6K, so you're getting 6K, not 5K. Like this guy, because if you go over here, remember in Photoshop, I'm going to bring you over the spec sheet. We have video. Where is that again? Oh, down here. I didn't even get to that yet. So we have we have 5.4K, 4K. So we do have higher resolution. At least it's 5K or 5.4K or whatever it says. And over here with this guy, we have 6K. So we have 10-bit, of course, because it's a pro drone. We have 6K. We got 360 optical avoidance. So regardless what the other drone does, we have 360 here. We have 40 minutes of flight time. We know that the Mavic Air 2 or the 2S isn't going to have 40 minutes of flight time. And for what? Another $50? So think about that, guys. If you're really on the fence of spending that much money, think about other options. You can buy a Mavic 2 Pro used, I guarantee, for $1,500, $1,600. I'll sell you mine. So I'm selling mine. I don't really want it because I just bought this guy. But just know that when you're at $1,400, $1,500, like you are with this drone, with the Fly More combo, with Refresh, you're basically at a whole other tier of drones like Phantom 4 Pros and blah, blah, blah. But again, $1,525 gets you a standard Evo 2 Pro 6K, and that's pretty darn good. So just keep that in mind, you know, for when you're about to purchase a drone like this. But we're going to go back over to the spec sheet, not get totally distracted, but I wanted to let you guys know that there are going to be options for you that are going to be pretty interesting at the very least. So maybe entertain them, do your research before you're going to go ahead and spend this money, because the Mavic Air 2 alone is a killer little drone. So we got max image size, 20 megapixels, 5472 by 3648. And again, if you look at this image in Photoshop that I took, where are you? I think you're over here. No, I'm going to close out of that. I don't need that. I don't need this. I don't need that. But we do need this. So this is the Mavic Air 2 image. And if you see, it's basically an 8,000 pixel by 6,000 pixel file. So we're getting more file out of the Mavic Air 2 no matter how you got there. But look at this. This is a killer I'm 1,000 feet up in the air right now with my Mavic Air 2, so OcuSync 2.0 is winning and working and doing totally killer. I mean, look at this. I could see a guy walking up here. I didn't even see this until now, actually. Never even knew it was there, but you could see a guy walking around. You could totally see killer resolution with this drone. So the Mavic Air 2 already is a really good drone for a still photographer. So I'm just going to throw that out there. You guys obviously can do whatever you like. That's totally your prerogative, your money. And I get that, but at the same time, just know that the Mavic Air 2 is a killer little drone, and I think most people realize that and know that. And this isn't really that huge of an upgrade. It is an upgrade, but it's an upgrade that's going to throw you into a whole other price point when you're spending your hard-earned money. So, okay, we're going to go back over here. We have 4K Ultra HD. I think it says, I can't even read this. I think it says 3840 by 2160, 24, 25, 30. I want to say it says, oh, I can't even read. It's so hard. This is really challenging. Again, it's exactly like being at the eye doctor. 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, 60, I believe. Frames per second, 2.7K. Let me zoom a little bit. It's funny because when you zoom, sometimes it just breaks it apart more. It makes it almost less legible. 2.7K, I want to say 2068 by 1512, 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, 60 frame per second. And then I don't even know. I think this is something else. I can't even read it. It says like HFD or something. But remote controller. It says operating frequency. We're not too concerned about that. Max transmission distance. It says 12 kilometers. Let's see what the max transmission distance is in this guy. So max flight distance, 18.5 kilometers with the Mavic Air 2. Is that kind of the same thing we're looking at? Max flight distance. Let me go back over here. Operating, where was that? Max transmission distance. So we're looking at transmission. Let's see that. I mean, there's a lot more specs on this actual page. A max transmission distance right here, 10 kilometers. So over here, max transmission distance is actually improved. So that's good. Maybe it is that much better for transmission, but again, I've never really had an issue. But I just wanted to kind of touch on some of this. This is basically what I saw, and I wanted to share it with you. But again, one key thing to know, that if you're going to buy one of these right now, look at this. The Mavic Air 2 Fly More combo is $988, so it's less than $1,000. So you're getting a lot of drone for under $1,000, and you're going to be basically spending another $400 to $500 for this new Air 2S, and I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. It's going to be a cool little drone, but at the same time, and you're getting in Mavic 2 Pro territory, and you're getting in Evo 2 Pro territory, and you're getting in all kinds of other territory that you may want to explore before you go ahead and spend the money on a 2S. But regardless, it's going to be a cool drone. I may buy one. I don't know. I got to see when it all kind of lays out legitimately 190%. But for now, guys, that's it. I wanted to kind of share what I knew with the spec sheet with you guys, just to give you some added information as I kind of found out about it. And that's really about it. Again, if you guys can, hit that thumbs up button if you found anything useful in this video. It really does help me. I'm working hard on growing this channel. It's not easy, but show a little aloha. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you would like, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you, and good night.